Coral reefs are the most diverse of all marine ecosystems. They teem with life, with perhaps 1/4 of all ocean species depending on reefs for food and shelter. This is a remarkable statistic when you consider that reef cover just a tiny fraction, less than 1% of the Earth's surface and less than 2% of the ocean bottom. Because they are so diverse, coral reefs are often called the rainforest of the sea. The coral species that build reefs are known as hermatypic or hard corals because they extract calcium carbonate from seawater to create a hard, durable exoskeleton that protects their soft sac-like bodies. Other species of corals that are not involved in reef building are known as soft corals. These types of corals are flexible organisms, often resembling plants and trees, and include species such as sea fans and sea whips. Each individual coral is referred to as a polyp. Coral polyps live on the calcium carbonate exoskeletons of their ancestors, adding their own exoskeletons to the existing coral structure. As the centuries pass, the coral reef gradually grows, one tiny exoskeleton at a time, until they become massive features of the marine environment. Corals are found all over the world's oceans, from the Aleutian Islands off the coast of Alaska to the warm tropical waters of the Caribbean Sea. The biggest coral reefs are found in the clear, shallow waters of the tropics and subtropics. The largest of these coral reef systems, the Great Barrier Reef in Australia, is more than 1,500 miles long, which is 2,400 kilometers. Some countries, such as the Maldives, Kiribati, Tuvalu, and the Marshall Islands, are literally built on coral reefs and would not exist and without the protective fringe. In this labyrinth of living limestone, over 1 million plant and animal species are involved, and they receive more than 25% of all species of marine life. It is one of the most important biodiversity hotspot on Earth. A large proportion of the human population live in developing countries and island nations, and therefore depend to a large proportion of food taken directly from the coral waters. It is vital to preserve it from environmental pollution. According to one estimate, the total annual earning of coral reefs in the world is $29.8 billion. Tourism and leisure activities represent $9.6 billion. Coastal protection, $9 billion. Fisheries, $5.7 billion. And biodiversity, $5.5 billion. The greatest threats to reefs are rising water temperatures and ocean acidification linked to rising carbon dioxide levels. High water temperatures cause corals to lose the microscopic algae that produce the water. Corals need a condition known as coral bleaching. Severe or prolonged bleaching can kill coral colonies or leave them vulnerable to other threats. Meanwhile, ocean acidification means more acidic seawater, which makes it more difficult for corals to build their calcium carbonate skeletons. And if acidification gets severe enough, it could even break apart the existing skeletons that already provide the structure for reefs. Scientists predict that by 2085, ocean conditions will be acidic enough for corals around the globe to begin to dissolve. For one reef in Hawaii, this is already a reality. Unfortunately, warming and more acidic seas are not the only threats to coral reefs. Overfishing and overharvesting of corals also disrupt reef ecosystems. If care is not taken, boat anchors and divers can scar reefs. Coral reefs can be saved if we recycle and dispose of trash properly. The overuse of fertilizers on lawns harm water quality because nutrients, nitrogen and phosphorus form the fertilizers are washed into waterways and eventually end up in oceans. These nutrients pollute the water and can harm coral reefs. Use environmentally friendly modes of transportation and save energy at home and at work. Please subscribe and click the bell icon for more videos.